Hello, my name is Jürgen Steinmetz with Livestream, part of Etober News. Today is Monday, August 31st, and earlier this morning we went to South Africa. In cooperation with the African Tourism Board, we helped to facilitate a Zoom conference with high level executives and leaders in the travel and tourism industry, and the discussion point was Women of Value for Africa and the role of women in the travel and the tourism industry in Africa. This podcast is about the presentation by the Honorable Lana Marks. Lana Marks is a South African-born American fashion designer, and she was recently appointed on November 14th by President Donald Trump to represent the United States as the ambassador in Pretoria in South Africa. Lana Banks was born in East London in South Africa. Her father, Alec Bank, had immigrated from Lithuania as a child. He was a property development developer and a leader in the Jewish community in South Africa. Marks is a tennis player. She has played tennis all over the world, including Bermuda, and with an interesting career. She found her way home back to South Africa representing our country, the United States. You will like her input on the situation, how she sees the situation about equality of women in South Africa and the current relationship between the United States and South Africa. Enjoy.
This particular moment, we would like to welcome Her Excellence, U.S. Ambassador to South Africa. It's Dr. Lana Marks, who will be presenting to us and giving us her talk based on the information that she would like to share on women empowerment from where she is coming from. Dr. Lana, you are welcome. The stage is yours. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. Thank you for that wonderful and warm introduction. Greetings, Minister Kubayin Gubani. I'm so pleased to see you again, if only virtually. Hello to Dr. Winnie Chirumbala, Executive Chairperson of Women of Value SA, members of Women of Value SA, and distinguished guests. I am honored to be here today and to address such an exceptional gathering of luminaries. The women represented here are indeed the guiding lights of South Africa. I wish we could be meeting in person, but I cannot tell you how pleased I am to be spending the final day of Women's Month discussing how we can leverage on sectors and regional value chain to help both empower and advance the rights of women, especially in the times of COVID-19. On a practical level, the United States has helped South Africa combat.
I'm plugged in.
On a practical level, the United States has helped South Africa combat this terrible disease by providing ventilators, personal protective equipment, oxygen therapy equipment, hand washing stations, and through our PEPFAR program, we've helped with contact tracing of potentially infected individuals and flown in a Hercules C-130 to make sure your frontline workers had enough PPE. All told, the United States has contributed over 765 million rands to South Africa in COVID-19 assistance. As we move into a new phase of pandemic response, focusing on the economic impact of COVID-19, we realize that several months of a very necessary lockdown has had this tremendous effect on the economy of South Africa. We still don't know the extent of the damage, but the picture that's starting to develop is that women have been disproportionately affected. The service industries in particular have been hit hard as the initial lockdown levels closed many businesses. Reduced consumer spending has further weakened the sector of the economy and has increased the pain felt by women. As a female entrepreneur myself, I know something of the obstacles we all face as we struggle to grow our businesses, especially in such a tumultuous time. Being an entrepreneur isn't easy under any circumstances, but being a woman potentially makes the journey to owning a successful and sustainable business even more difficult. Though we haven't experienced anything like the coronavirus in the past 100 years, the economic disasters of 2008, 2009 can give us a significant model as to how we will face the coming months and years through shifting philosophies and focused consolidations. We are talking about the South African economy today with its high unemployment rate and imbalanced market parity. One way to address this significant challenge is to create opportunities for more female entrepreneurs. Local experts predict that by 2022, female entrepreneurs have the potential to boost the South African economy by 175 billion rands. We need to ensure that women have the opportunity to work with mentors and see people who look like themselves in leadership positions. Strong role models are essential to inspiring others. All of you in positions of leadership can help ensure that the business networks which foster new business opportunities are inclusive and don't default to something else. Creating inclusive networks requires thoughtful, conscious effort, and I know all of you today are committed to creating those networks. Recognizing the tremendous promise from advancing women's participation in the global economy, its positive effect on the bottom line for businesses, and the outsized overall effect on the economic prosperity, the United States government is investing in women's economic empowerment through a variety of programs. The Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative, or WGDP initiative, seeks to reach 50 million women in the developing world by 2025 through US government activities, private-public partnerships, and a new innovative WGDP fund. In its first year, WGDP reached 12 million women worldwide. The United States government has an annual International Visitor Leadership Program focused on WGDP, overcoming barriers to women's economic participation. This project is designed for men and women, government officials, political leaders, lawmakers, nonprofit practitioners, members of the business community, and others in developing countries who are able to impact women's full and free participation in the economy, whether it be locally or globally. I'm pleased to inform you that the United States Embassy in Pretoria is supporting a young South African businesswoman to participate in this program. She will travel, when safe to do so, to Washington, D.C., New York, and other locations across the United States to attend meetings with federal, state, and local governments and private companies, business incubators, financial institutions, multilateral and non-government organizations to observe the social, economic, and political factors that influence and encourage women's economic participation. This program will bring approximately 20 women and men from around the world together to the United States to examine best practices for reducing restrictive legal, regulatory, and cultural barriers to women's full and free participation in the economy. The United States Mission launched the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs in 2019, a White House-led initiative that is providing entrepreneurship training through the Dream Builders online platform and Arizona State University's Thunderbird School of Management. Over 100 entrepreneurs will complete 6 months of training in Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Durban, Johannesburg, and Pretoria in the coming months. And we're launching a program for 125 more entrepreneurs later this year. This program serves as a networking platform supporting access to peer-to-peer mentorship, business partners, and scaling opportunities with businesses in South Africa and the United States. When women are economically empowered, they invest back into their families and communities, producing a multiplier effect that spurs economic growth and stability. I'd like to encourage those of you already established in the business world to contribute to developing the next generation of businesswomen and female entrepreneurs by making mentoring and advising a part of your work. And for those of you with entrepreneurial ambitions, projects, or ideas, remain focused and undeterred. If you put in the hard work as I did, as many here with us today have done, success will come to you. Thank you for the opportunity to address you this afternoon, and please be assured that the US is a true and unconditional friend of South Africa, and that we will do our utmost to promote tourism from the United States to South Africa post-COVID in unprecedented numbers and in unprecedented dollars. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lana Marks, for your beautiful remarks. U.S. Ambassador to South Africa, we're grateful.
Thank you for listening to our podcast today. We hope to see you again next time. Good evening from Livestream in Honolulu, Hawaii. Aloha.